What is this? Okay. We just got ourselves another warehouse. It's a little run down, needs a bit of paint and touch up, but let's go inside and take a look and see what we're driving this week. Looks like we got ourselves an SUV. Let's pull it up and see what it is. Well, it looks like we got ourselves a nice Cadillac. Cool paint job. I like this color. Looks like the X6T model to me. A bit of a long wheelbase, it seems. Pretty decent styling from the rear as well. Well, let's take it outside and get a closer look. This Cadillac is basically the same thing as the GMC Acadia. The difference is you get more goodies on this standard than with the other GM siblings. This is also the Buick. Is it Enclave or Enclave? I forgot. So you have three of these that are sold under different names. But this is top of the line for what they're charging, it should be. Starting price is $53,000. As you can see, not too many options. There's a total tab. I see we have an interested party. $2,000 extra for these wheels. Wow. Pardon the mud, but it's been raining all week and just hard to keep this vehicle clean. There's only one engine offered, a 3.6 liter, 6-cylinder, putting out 310 horsepower. It's a very reliable engine if you take care of it. Got to keep that oil changed on an engine like this. A lot of chains swirling around in there. Claim fuel economy is 17 in BG City, 24 on the highway. We're going to rack up about 500 miles or so to get the real world mileage. So we'll see. It's hooked to a 9-speed automatic transmission. And I see someone at General Motors must own a BMW because they copied their shifter, the old BMW swizzle stick. 3 times more complicated than need be. But once you learn how to use it, I guess you'll get by. If you want to shift for yourself, nice set of paddle shifters on the steering wheel. You can also shift manually using the Cadillac swizzle stick. And below the shifter, we have a mode button. Press that button, you get all these driving modes. Touring, all-wheel drive for wet pavement. Sport if you're in a hurry, and off-road if you want to take this in the sticks. We will be doing that later on in the video, by the way. This is a well-designed gauge cluster. Lots of useful information here, easy to read. Very simple climate controls. Air-conditioned seats, heated seats at a push of a button. No need to scroll through an infotainment system. Thank you, Cadillac. The info screen isn't the largest I've ever used, but simple to use, and that's what's important to me. There's a whole list of idiotic so-called safety features. Lane assist, which is an automatic steering system, automatic braking, a bunch of nonsense. You can deprogram a lot of that stuff by going in the screen here. Get rid of it. Don't want that nonsense. This is the most important button you'll have on this vehicle. It turns off the engine start-stop. If you know what that is, you come to a red light, the engine shuts off. You press the gas, it starts again in an attempt to save fuel. It really doesn't, just wears the engine out. If you want to turn that off, and I'm sure 99.9% drivers will, that's how you do it. Press this right here. Gone. On some Cadillacs and GMCs, you can't disconnect the system. You can on this vehicle. And here are the controls for the infotainment system. Pretty easy to use. Some shortcut buttons. Overall, a nice design. And of course, where it would be without a couple of cup holders. With the third row seats folded, you got lots of storage room. Press the magic button, and the seats come up in a big hurry too. Pretty fast system. We get a secret storage compartment under here, and there is a spare tire under that as well. Overall, this is a well-designed cabin. I really don't have any complaints. Nice materials and workmanship too. This includes part 1 of the video, show and tell. Part 2, we're going to go out and do some driving. We'll start by taking these headlights out. Dinky headlights, I might add, and see how they work. Wow, these are small. Should be interesting. It's dark, so we take these headlights out and see what they do. Here we have the low beams on the building 100 feet away. Great height. Bright enough too. Here are the high beams. Very bright. Looking good so far. I notice we also have cornering lights. You turn the steering wheel to the left. We get lights to the left. Great for taking corners or in parking lots. You don't want to hit a curb. And here we have the brights on the building 300 feet away. Good height, good spread, good brightness, good everything. These are very nice headlights on high beam. Let's bring them down to low beam. Reaches out. On a scale of 1 to 10, I have to give these headlights a 10. Thumbs up. The power steering is a bit too light for me, but putting it in the all-wheel drive mode stiffens things up a bit. But overall, I don't think any of the drivers are going to complain too much. Let's take this on the turning circle. I usually reserve for sports cars, but what the heck, we're already here. A bit of body lean, but overall, hugging the road pretty good. This is two-wheel drive. It passed. As we do in all my videos, we're going to take some mild speed bumps around 20 miles per hour to evaluate the suspension performance on impact. Here comes bump number 1. Pretty smooth. Bit of wheel thump, but the suspension is doing its job. That was number 2. Number 3. And the nasty one. Yeah, I felt that one, but overall, I'd say it's good enough for me. If my memory serves me right, the weight of this vehicle is around 4,700 pounds. But regardless, anytime you have a big SUV and only 310 horsepower pulling, you're not going to light up the tires doing a 0 to 60 time, but let's see what it does. Yeah, once it gets going, pretty strong. More than adequate. Pretty smooth. And nice brakes. We're going to set the mileage meter to 0 and take a highway trip. See what type of fuel economy we can squeeze out of this rig. Speed trap. And 2 miles later, speed trap number 2. It's the end of the month. They got to get their quota in. We completed our trip, got off the freeway. Let's see what our fuel economy ended up being. "116 miles, 21 mpg. Cruising at 75 miles per hour. Give or take. It's an SUV and has all-wheel drive with an off-road function, so let's take it off-road. Get it a wee bit dirty. I'm just posing this mud for shock effect. Rest of the road's pretty dry. Oh, what's up with all this mud? I'm glad we have an off-road function. Well, it looks like all the roads are washed out, so we'll have to turn around and go back into town, hit the freeway. Such is life. Here's the Border Patrol checkpoint I told you about. Remember the English I told you? Remember?
Si, senor.
Yeah, si, senor, and then say, hi, how are you?
How are you?
Yeah, your English is pretty good. I think they might pass us. Okay, we pass. That'll be an extra 500 pesos when we get to the drop-off, okay?
Okay.
We're going to take another fuel economy test on a return trip. See what type of fuel economy we get this time. The fuel economy was slightly better this time, 26.1, 137.7 miles. Don't know why it's better. It's just the way it is. We're getting close to our 600-mile goal. We'll rack that up by the time I turn this in tomorrow. 21.4 mpg for the trip thus far, in case you're interested. So what's my take on this Cadillac after a week of driving? Bottom line, I like it. Very nice daily driver. Great for long trips too. If you can't afford the price tag, you might want to check out the GMC Acadia. If I recall, they have a 4-cylinder engine option that drives the price down. Haven't tried it, but I tried this and enjoyed it. Here's some video links to other large SUVs we've driven and done videos on lately. Just click and watch.